We are getting close to Easter, which means it's time to check in with one of our favorite sommeliers, Theo Rutherford. Hey, Theo, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, well, you know, everything you have in front of you looks amazing, and I hear you have some extra special, entertaining ideas for us this spring that are taking place in the freezer?
Yep, you know, we're looking forward to all the flavors that are coming through for spring, right? We got fresh herbs, we got fresh berries, sort of everything there, but we also want to entertain. And entertaining can be hard because sometimes your guests are expecting a little bit more. So your freezer is actually going to help you out a lot there.
Okay, tell me how our freezer is going to help us out this year.
So start easy. We're gonna start with a nice classic highball, something like Redemption Rye that adds some spiciness to that highball. You're then topping that with soda water, very light, vibrant drink. But then elevate it a little bit by taking some citrus peels and freezing those in your ice cubes. That way, as your ice starts to melt, it's gonna add a citrus note to that cocktail. It's gonna look great, but it also is just gonna help that drink get a little bit more elevated, a little more complex as it starts to dilute.
So all you did was you put the citrus peel in the regular ice cube with water, right?
And just froze it. That's all you had to do.
How far in advance can you do that?
I mean, that will actually hold kind of as long as your ice will. So I've got some back at home that have probably been there for a week or two. I'd say probably about that long, just to make sure that something weird doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But it should work pretty well.
But definitely something you could do like a couple days beforehand, before you have to do any of the other prep. Just make those ice cubes and get them out of the way.
Absolutely.
All right, what other ideas do you have for us?
So I know freezer door cocktails are a big trend at this point, and so those are so great because you can pre-batch them ahead of time and then just stick them in your freezer. So anytime your guest actually wants a drink, you don't have to move. They can just go get it themselves, which is great. So something like a Gray Whale White Negroni. So play on a classic Negroni, but we made a white Negroni using Lillet Blanc and a Blanc Vermouth, which elevates it a little bit, brings in that springtimey thing going on. The Lillet Blanc brings out the citrus and the gin, and literally pre-batch it into the freezer it goes, and people can just reach and grab that. Plus, every time you grab a bottle of Gray Whale, it actually gives back to ocean conservation efforts. So cocktail with a cause, and just a nice vibrant cocktail as well.
Well, that sounds like a win-win-win all the way around. So if you're gonna help the planet in some way or another, you might as well drink a few of those, right?
Exactly.
What other fun ideas do you have for us?
So I personally love a Boulevardier. They're a great summer cocktail, especially for bourbon lovers. So it's just bourbon, sweet vermouth, Campari, but we did a little bit of a twist on that and added a little walnut liqueur to our Bib and Tucker 6-year. And the reason we did that is it actually brings out the inherent nuttiness that's already in the bourbon, while still keeps it light and vibrant and that spring summery thing. Plus the visual impact of that drink is fantastic. It's again, one that you can do ahead of time. So put that in your freezer door, minimal effort for you, maximum flavor, maximum impact for your guests, so you can relax and just enjoy your time.
So one thing we can do too is chill the glassware, right? So that when we bring these frozen cocktails to the drink, they kind of like match the temperature.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't be afraid to freeze your highball glasses or your rocks glasses or your coupes or anything like that. They make for, honestly, a great addition to that. It keeps your cocktail cold for a little bit longer, which is always good. Nobody likes those last like 3 sips that are always sort of room temperature.
Absolutely. All right, before we go, what's your favorite food that ends up on the spring Easter brunch table, and what do you like to pair it with?
Oh man, that's a great question. I mean, for me, as we're starting to be able to be outside a little bit more, I'd love to throw anything on a grill, to be entirely honest. So especially from the East Coast, we're starting to get almost into ramp season. And ramps for me are a great thing there. They go really well with tequila actually, because the earthiness from the ramps brings out that earthiness from a really good Reposado tequila. So Cantera Negra works for that. But honestly, anything on a grill, I'm gonna be a happy camper.
Where can we go to get some more cocktail ideas from you, Theo?
So DeutschFamily.com will have everything you need to know about the brands in front of you, and maybe a couple other inspirations for you too.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for having me back. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back with more Good Day Stay Line.